What I like of practicing with no props is that I can actually feel when gravity is taking my body to the next edge without me doing anything. Hi everybody, welcome back to another Yin Yoga practice. Today the sequence that we're going to be practicing has the intention to help you to relieve some tension that you may have and that it may cause headaches. Okay, remember, yoga in general is not a pill that you take and something goes away, but it definitely helps to keep our body and our mind as healthy as possible if we also have a healthy lifestyle. Anyway, that is a talk for another video. Today, as I said, we're going to be doing a few poses for about half an hour. You may not need a prop. Usually the classes that I teach, I give you options, so you don't necessarily need to rely on a prop. But if you want to have a cushion with you in case that at some point you need to sit on something, please be free and do that. Okay, you are the best judge of how to practice. Anyway, we're going to start coming to again on the back of your mat, and we're going to do a pose that we can do it in different ways. I'm going to show you two ways to do that. So one of the ways to do that is actually on your back, and we do out of the needle. The idea of this pose is one of the variations that we use for shoelace, which is the pose that I'm going to be practicing soon. But if for whatever reason shoelace is not available today, you can put your ankle on top of your knee, the right ankle on top of the left knee, and you can hug either the back side of your leg and then try to keep your shoulders relaxed coming down to the floor, or you may want to grab the shin, the front of your left leg, and stay here. No need to flex the ankle in any particular way. Just allow the gravity to pull your shoulders down, and then your hands will pull your leg towards you. So this is one of the variations that you can choose for shoelace. Otherwise, we will do shoelace, which is keeping your left knee bent and trying to stack your right knee on top. Okay, this is shoelace pose that also it may look very different for everybody. Your feet can be very close to your hips or they can be a little bit further away. So choose the variation for either the whole body as I did before or only your feet. Now the torso, you can stay up here or you can let go and come a little bit forward. So now that we have found the shape for us, the shape that works for your body today, we're gonna stay in this pose for about 2 minutes. I'm gonna be timing the poses, so I have my clock in front, so we are in poses, especially when they are asymmetrical poses, I try to keep them in a very similar length, so we stimulate the body as equal as possible. Then you can close your eyes, keep your eyes open, but focus on a point so we avoid the mind to go around and start thinking. By stimulating different lines of energy that run through our legs and our torso and our arms and hands, we can stimulate different parts of not only the physical body with organs and muscles and tendons, but also in the energetic layer of ourselves. So basically with these poses, we are decompressing tension in the body that eventually may cause headaches. But perhaps you don't have a headache, but you feel tension somewhere. So let's free ourselves from that tension. Only a few more seconds to go in this pose called shoelace, or maybe you are in eye of the needle. Either one is great. Good. Very gently, we're going to start moving out of the pose. Wherever you are, releasing the legs. If you were in out of the needle, bringing your torso upright and shifting to one side. If you are on the floor, please stay there. We'll just pause for a moment. Feel, observe. And then moving to the other leg. So if you were doing out of the needle, this time you will bring your left ankle on top of the right knee and do the same, hugging the leg. Otherwise, bend your right knee and moving your left knee on top. Something that I found that it works for me is actually shifting a little bit forward, kind of like stack the knees together. So adduct your hips from the groin, squeeze tight. That will help your knee to come and rest one on top of the other one. And then allow your foot to go wherever your knee, your ankle, and your hip feels comfortable. For the variation of shoelace on your left side, we're going to be here for 2 minutes. Again, you can stay up here, or you can allow your torso to come forward. This will increase the stretch that we are applying to the back of the hip joint. Try to keep my palms facing up so I don't stop myself. I don't stop my body from moving forward by using gravity. And also I avoid a conditioned rush, conditioned movement of going forward that usually when we have been practicing more yang styles of yoga, we tend to aim to go somewhere, to look in certain shape. But in the end, we want to let all that go and surrender to whatever the body is doing at this moment, using the help of gravity. What I like of practicing with no props is that I can actually feel when gravity is taking my body to the next edge. Without me doing anything, I feel some little openings here and there, like something is opening in certain parts of my body. And honestly, that is what I love about yin. One of the feelings and sensations that I really enjoy, how my body starts moving to other edges, other planes, other directions. Good. Very softly. We're going to start coming out of the pose. Again, take a moment. Pause. No need to rush. Let go of the legs wherever you are. If you are already on the floor, for the next pose, you just need to roll over. We're going to be on the belly anyway, so you are already there. If you are up here with me, so send both legs to the back. And we're going to come onto our bellies. We're going to come to Sphinx Pose. Now, we were flexing the hips. Now we're extending the hips. So we're doing the opposite movement. So keep your elbows kind of like similar distance and alignment with the shoulders. And I like to practice with my palms facing together. You can have them on the floor. Is totally up to you as well. Feel how that makes your shoulders feel. Keep your torso active, your shoulders active. We don't want to be hanging, causing too much stress to the muscles of your neck. There's no need for that. So push your ears away from your shoulders. Relax your bum, you relax your legs. Allow the lumbar spine to sink down. That is the area that we are targeting. And again, you can keep your eyes closed or open, but hopefully finding a place to look at so we keep our concentration. I'll be holding spaces of silence so you can actually just be there. A few more moments here before we let go of Sphinx Pose. So gentle, we're gonna move the elbows to the sides, making a pillow with the hands resting the head down. Neutralizing the spine, allowing the spine to come back to its natural shape. Good. I'm gonna come out and start shifting your body back and down. So we're gonna do the opposite movement. So bring your knees together, so that will help us to round the spine in this child pose. Allowing your head to drop down. Keeping your hands behind you so we don't overstress the shoulders. That's not the goal of this pose. And try to enjoy this intimacy that you find in child pose. It's a great pose to calm your mind, to bring you down. So you're feeling stressed and tense. Just pause for a moment during the day. Take 10 minutes to sit on the floor, breathe, and some minutes of child pose. Kind of like to reconnect with your inner self and to calm down mainly. Then you can keep going with your day. Good. Softly, I'm going to start coming out of the pose using your hands to bring your torso upright. Taking a few moments here to enjoy. Child pose is really, really soothing. I can feel that rush of calmness. Good. Now we're gonna move the right leg forward. We're gonna come to sleeping swan. So we're gonna keep the left leg where it is, just moving your right leg to the front. A few things here for this pose, especially probably if you have been practicing with me, probably you already took the yin yoga training with me. You know that I teach more from a functional approach, not necessarily an aesthetic approach. So keep your front leg where it works, when where you feel that actually is working with your body, stressing, lengthening the, in this case, the right glute. But if your foot has to be pointing or it has to be closer to you or away from you, if your knee has to be a little bit more to the center or to the side, that is just decoration. We have to use these different alignments of different parts to make the asana effective, to make the asana work in the places that needs to work and leave the other places alone, so everybody is happy in the pose. So this is how the sleeping swan looks for me. It may look different for you, but the principle hopefully is the same. So we're gonna come into sleeping swan. So allowing your torso to come to the front. You can make a pillow with your hands resting your forehead. You can rest your forehead on the floor, even the chest. Whatever is available for you. Your hands can be more in the front, on the side. Just find the placement that you feel that the asana is actually working. And what does it mean working? In this pose, in this asymmetrical pose, we are compressing the front of the right leg while stretching and lengthening the back, your glutes and your hamstring. And in the back leg, we are lengthening the front of the hip and pressing the whole leg against the floor, not actively, just as there. The toes are pointing. So we are already stimulating our feet in a different way because we spend a lot of time with shoes. So just by pointing the toes naturally to be in this pose helps to release tension all the way down from the feet. In poses like this, most likely your bum is going to be up in the air. It's okay. Welcome to the human club. Majority of us have very, very tight hips. It is the way that it's meant to be. Tight, strong. So if your bum is up in the air, no problem. That's not going to hurt your knee. So that is one of the nonsense of yoga that a lot of people repeat. A bum up in the air won't hurt your knee. If your knee is not happy in this pose, we need to change, as I said at the beginning, the position of your foot, of the knee, but not the bum. So let's extend the leg for a moment here. Just pausing, observing, feeling, releasing before we move on to the next side, the other side. Good. So shift towards the left, so the right leg will go behind you. And now we keep the left knee bent. Again, see where the placement of this foot works for you. As I said, for some people, keep it in this angle. Awesome, great. For some others, this angle, this will change what is happening to the hip joint. So depending on the range of motion in the hip joint, this will be more accessible, or this one. And try to keep your pelvis level. Here the gravity is the one working, pulling, moving your hips down to the floor, and this is when the magic happens. Okay, so if you prop that bum that is up in the air, that magic will be gone because there's no space for gravity to keep moving your pelvis down. Good. You move your chest forward and down, resting your forehead on the floor. 2 minutes in the sleeping swan to release tension, to start moving the blood in different parts, to increase and improve
the blood circulation. Sometimes we get headaches because either our blood is not bringing enough oxygen for our brain, is not moving properly along within our bodies, so it's not doing its work of carrying nutrients and cleansing that wastage that we produce at every single moment of our existence. We are creating, we are destroying. So we need to unblock any blockage that we may found in any of the tissues of our body. I can be forever in this pose, so I have to look at the clock to see it time's up, and actually it is. Otherwise, I keep you here for 30 minutes. Believe me, I love this pose. Good. We're gonna start coming out of the pose very gently. But this time, instead of moving your legs forward, we're gonna move actually the left leg to meet the right. Just to pause in a moment into in child pose. But let's stay here for a minute, not a minute, for a moment. Stay here and feel and observe sensations. Good. Again, as we did before, keeping your knees together will allow that the spine to round a little bit more. So this is what we are aiming. And keeping your hands behind you just for a few moments here to decompress, to feel that soothing effect of this pose. So getting ready to come out of the pose. Softly pushing your torso upright. Taking a moment here. Now we're gonna shift our body weight to one side and we're gonna open our legs as wide as they will go. That angle changes person to person because we are letting go of any conscious effort of engaging the muscles. The toes may come forward. That's fine. It's completely okay. This pose is called dragonfly. For some of us, maybe we need to approach to this pose by bending the knees. So keeping the knees bent, coming forward is one option. Keeping the knees bent and staying upright is another option, because maybe this
We are lengthening also the attachment of the hamstring that we have behind the knees, so it may feel too much. Remember, we need to identify when is too little, when is too much. We want to get just right. But also we need to acknowledge when is tensional restriction, when we feel that things are getting stretched, or when is actually pain. Right now, you ask me, I feel this tensional resistance when my muscles are getting stretched, the tendons, the ligaments are getting pulled, but nothing to worry about. It's just tension of a normal, natural stretch that those tissues are getting right now. And now we bring the torso forward. Again, hands, if their palms are facing down, as long as they're not stopping you for keep moving forward. Usually I feel that if I keep my hands there, somehow I'm preventing my body to move down. So I usually, as I said before, I usually practice with my hands facing up. The head can be aligned. You can drop the head. It's totally your choice. And then we will be in this pose for about 2 minutes before coming to the end of the class. Remember to keep your eyes either closed or to focus on something, and to remain as an observer of your thoughts. Thoughts are not going to stop, but you can become only an observer without reacting to any of that. Just see what's going on in that monkey mind, and perhaps start concentrating on the natural rhythm of your breath that will take you away from reacting and thinking, overthinking. Good. So very gingerly, we're going to move our torso upright, helping our legs with our hands to bend the knees and preparing for Shavasana. So opening your legs as wide as the mat, allowing the toes to drop out or in wherever they feel natural for your body. Believe me, all bodies are made differently. Now we let it go. Taking a few moments in Shavasana. The longer you can stay here, the better. But today we only have time for about 2 minutes of Shavasana. But you can always stay there and enjoy this last pose for as long as you can.
you are with me and you need to keep going with your day. So we're gonna start coming out of the pose, incorporating some little movements to your toes and your fingers, moving your hands, your legs, bending your knees and rolling toward one side, either side. Don't be so caught up on right and left and yin and yang and female and male. It's just rolling to one side so it's easy for you to get up. Placing your hand on the floor, helping yourself to come up. Keeping your eyes closed, keep enjoying that yummy feeling, sensations of the practice. From my end, thank you so much for sharing this practice with me, for allowing me to share with you a little bit of what I love, what I do, and hopefully this practice can help you to release any tension that you may have anywhere, either in your physical or your mental layer. Anyway, I'll see you back here with another practice very soon. Thank you so much.